Situated on 45 miles of beautiful Lake Michigan's South Shore are the towns and cities that make up the eastern portion of the third largest economy in the nation. With world-class education, bountiful farmland, and vibrant and revitalized cities, Indiana is a state on the move. Welcome to the East Side suburbs. Welcome to the best-kept secret in the Chicagoland area. Now is the time for Indiana to seize that potential through enhanced connectivity.
In the 21st century, cities really rise and fall based on connectivity. Connectivity is the new currency for cities, and we're proud to be connected digitally, we're proud to be connected culturally. Now we got to do a little more to make sure that we're connected infrastructurally. In order to fully unlock the potential of being located where we're located, we really need to connect up to that rail link and make it as fast as it can be. And when we have first-rate service connecting us to Chicago every day by rail, that's a big deal. That's a big deal for families, that's a big deal for business, and it's really going to help us continue to grow at a moment when we're growing like we haven't in a generation.
Essentially, from Gary, Indiana to Michigan City, we're on a single-track, one-way road with two-way traffic. And because of that, we can only run follow-the-leader type service. So in the morning, in our rush hour, all trains follow each train. So if one train has an issue, every train behind it waits. And every train that's coming the opposite direction has to wait. So our on-time performance isn't very good. Our ability to add express service doesn't exist. And we can't add more service today because of the limitations of the rail. So the intent here is to add a second track so that we can move back and forth between Chicago seamlessly. We can cross over from one track to another and eliminate the bottlenecks that our riders experience every day. We need to make that available to the residents of this region, and then we can unlock the potential.
What we're looking for right now is really investment in the double tracking, which affects a 4-county area in the northwest corner of the state. And we're really saying to everybody at this point that we've gotten to a place where we are the gateway to Chicago on the Indiana side. The state of Indiana stands to really gain a lot of economic benefit from this. We're talking about roughly 5,400 new jobs.
In order for us to maintain the competitive edge that we need to compete on the global level, it's critical for us to have solid access to the Chicago area from Chesterton. For Urschel Laboratories, double tracking will improve our ability to recruit and retain talent.
For Northwest Indiana residents, Chicago is really our epicenter. It's our regional hub, it's the regional city that we're connected to. The train is an infrastructure piece to connect to that just as much as the highways. It's easy, it's convenient, it allows families to keep dollars in their pockets. Double tracking helps with that. It's an infrastructure investment to the city as much as the tollway and the highways are.
Another thing exciting about this opportunity is that we're projecting about $1.9 billion to come into Northwest Indiana over the next 20 years. And if you think about investments over the decades, that's huge for us. It's going to be directed at quality of life and quality of place, housing opportunities, job creation that is permanent for people. And so that's a real opportunity for us. It represents a leverage on public investment of about 2 to 1. So for every dollar we're putting in, we're getting over $2 back.
Now is the time for Indiana to increase connectivity between Chicago and its communities like Gary's Miller neighborhood, Hammond, Chesterton, and Michigan City, making them communities of choice for millennials.
I love Chicago. It's still part of my story and where I love to go to visit friends and family, but here we have a little bit more of that quiet aspect, and we know our neighbors really well, and we have really good community feel around here that is unique to Northwest Indiana.
When young people go away to college, we want them to come back here to work. So what this does is it allows people to come back to the community and live here, but also work somewhere like a big city.
I definitely saw brain drain after college with some of my friends, and they wanted to, move to Chicago, and some of them did. But with the South Shore and the double tracking, they really won't need to do that anymore. And they've got quick access to Chicago between their work, between going out on the weekends, coming back late. So there's really no need to move to Chicago anymore. You've got the South Shore to connect you to Chicago in any way, shape, or form that you would potentially need to be connected.
That's the reality here in Northwest Indiana. You can get great buys, in particular here in Gary, and get what you want, or get our dream house, and get my garden. It's a huge garden, and I live my front yard, so it's the lagoon, and half a block to a block I live right on the beach.
Living in Chicago for 4 to 5 years, and how the housing market has increased and being able to look at the burbs and everything, Indiana is much more enticing because you get a lot more value for your money. Having faster commute times, double tracking will definitely be able to get people to look at this area, and as people move in, it brings added money and added value to the area.
Now is the time for Indiana to bolster its economy.
It means more jobs for us at the end of the day. We have a lot of people that want to commute, and that's great. This is what the double tracking represents. Those people that want to get to Chicago can do so conveniently and quickly, but also at the same time, for those that don't want to commute to Chicago, it represents more job growth here as well.
We've spent the last decade putting almost $1 billion worth of infrastructure into our communities and our shoreline and recreating what Northwest Indiana is all about and what it can be.
It's a great time to be in Michigan City, especially be a business owner.
Now is the time for Indiana to work with its communities to bring people together.
Well, for Indiana to succeed, the cities need to succeed, and the cities need to be connected. More connected cities make for a stronger Indiana.
There's various audiences here at the university that would benefit greatly from the double tracking into Chicago from South Bend. We have faculty, staff, and students that are going back and forth between the city and the university, and that would only be enhanced by the double tracking and the efficiencies that would be gained from South Bend to Chicago.
Now is the time for Indiana to show the rest of the world what it's been missing. Now is the time for double tracking along the South Shoreline.
As my role here at the university, I interact with a number of our state representatives and state senators, and I truly hope that they see the potential of this project. Double tracking the South Shore into Chicago would have a huge impact here at the university, but it would also have an enormous impact in the city of South Bend, St. Joseph's County, our entire north central region as you go on into Chicago. This is a game changer for our community.
Now is the time for you to move here as well. This is the right move for your family. We've done the quality of life improvements, we're doing the connectivity. So instead of going into the higher tax markets, the overbuilt areas, and the places that are almost unobtainable in terms of price, this is your chance to be on the ground floor of a new investment in an area that's up and coming in your market.
Now is the time to make the investment and double track the South Shoreline.
For information on how to contact your legislator, visit www.doubletrack-nwi.com.